thescoreesports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Hello, it's another day of the ESL Pro League, and I'm sitting in a chair as well for the first time of the new season, joined by Ven and Lauren. You know them very, very well. How are you doing today, guys?
Doing well.
Yeah, you feeling good?
Yeah, pretty good.
We had some Mexican food. We're feeling pretty fresh.
Yeah, burritos were had, so feeling pretty ready.
All right, so we've eaten, and you guys have a delightful meal of CS to be delivered to you today. We do, however, before we even start talking about what's coming up today, we've got Dignitas, NaVi. We're going to be seeing some big games. Instead, we're going to go ahead and recap what happened on the weekend. Specifically, Sunday, we had some matches that we want to go ahead and bring to you guys, so we can go ahead and have a quick look at what you may have missed if you weren't available for the games on Sunday. We started with SK. We will be seeing them as well today a little later, alongside their Danish rivals Astralis. We saw Astralis picking up both wins in their two best of ones. Following that one, we saw G2 up against Flipside, where G2 picked up the win in both matches, both on train and on overpass. Rounding that out, we had two extra games, of course, going a little later into the night. We had Fnatic battling with Mousesports. After a bit of a weak start, Mousesports bit back hard into Fnatic on Dust 2. Of course, a map that we know Mousesports have a lot of prowess on.
Well, I think we can just thank Nico for that in the last couple of rounds. The ridiculous jumping AWPing shot that was just insane, but no, that was a really good game to watch.
I heard, was it you and Jason, right?
No.
Who was casting it?
I'm trying to think back. Who was
Oh, no,
it?
you were casting the
It was
Seas.
Mitch. It was Mitch.
Okay.
Yeah, Mitch got that.
And Jason.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
it was Mitch and Jason.
Mind-boggling stuff. Anything that stood out to you from the Sunday matches in particular, or was it just Nico being a crazy boy?
There's a lot of things to be
Yeah.
said, but I think
You
you'd
guys
to
have looked
go
at a lot
back
of
through
CS,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot going on that day. I think obviously that stood out just because it was one of those random moments that you can't predict. But prior to that, Nico didn't have the biggest performance. It was actually a lot of the other team kind of stepping up as well. Nex had a great game, which is something we've been going, when's it going to happen, guys? And then finally it did happen. And maybe Fnatic got a little too careless and it kind of just slipped away from them. I think it's the main thing to pull from that Dust 2 game.
Yeah, well, we're going to go ahead and remind you guys, of course, and ourselves about what happened over on Sunday. So let's have a quick look at what we and you may have missed.
Welcome back. Welcome cap. I can't even.
Australian. You were going
Just
for
like-
up on Gangnam Style or something.
I don't even know where that came from. It's ESL Pro League, ladies and gentlemen.
Everyone's rotated towards the A bomb site. It's just Zipnix in here. He's got to do some work. It's that first kill. He's got a low HP NBK. There's the assist from Dupree. Flashbangs, a lot of utility still on the side. The Molotov's going to flush him out. Nice flash, though. NBK has two of them lined up. He's going to get a third as well.
Has doing good work on the ground. Existence has already fallen here. Scream will push up. He's been quite heavily flashed here. Oh my god, it's a blind leading the blind, but Scream gets both. That aim again coming out in famous form. The spray down towards Snacks. And
It's all Taz from there. Now Smith has to try and save this, but Snacks with the knife is not going to get it. Smith no-scopes and freezes inside with the 8 He's got to land some shots. This often gets swarmed so easily. There's the first one. Gets a second one as well. Even tags through. But Mike Lilly does eventually fall Magic's point. Now Freeze has to hit that, and he does.
he evens up the leveling here. He picks up Rain. He goes down. So 1v1. How does this keep happening again? Forced. It's just a Desert Eagle here for Jacob. Has something to work with here. The shot. Brilliant. Pretty shocking as a retake weapon. He's looking for something else, but I don't really think he'll have it. Oh my lord. It's sitting to get wrecked, son. And it's going to push around with the P250. Fox comes alive. That was incredible stuff to take the round away. Carrigan sat up on short as well, so he'll be able to see pushes in towards Connector. Device, though, good little flick from him. He's missed a couple of those. Oh, there's the no-scope. Pimp just gets sent packing. Device going large.
Holding their nerve here, G2 not really showing too much. Shox again in the same spot, has all the time in the world to line him up and knock him down. There's his second. But Bondic did find the last two teammates who were on this site initially. So now Shox has to fight his way out, and he's doing exactly just that. That's his fourth. Goes in for the fifth, and he gets it. That is stunning stuff from Shox.
A lot easier and better than Mousesports, at least so far anyway. Olafmeister, oh, the flash is really going to get to the third.
JW has plenty to use. He's got a Molotov. Going to be able to flush out that default position. He's got to be careful. Dennis wanted to peek that. That is going to force Dennis away. He is burning. Down to 20, down to 12. And JW picks him off as he escapes in a beautiful retake. Grim's in great position to take advantage of Chris J as well. JW misses the initial shot, not going to miss that one. One more to deal with. It's just Chris J, although he doesn't get two with the Tech 9. Oh, and he dinks him as well. But what is this? He's almost made this possible. There's the third kill, and now JW is so low, and he gets that one as well.
Dennis versus Chris J. Now this could be the ace. He's at least going to get the bomb plant. 19 points of health. But mate, change back to the Tech 9. You had more success with it somehow against the odds. See the push in from Fnatic. It's a Molotov on the ground, and Spitty needs to get there as well. Two players here for Mousesports. Nico, beautiful flick over towards JW. Now it's just Dennis left. Nico, what are you doing? Spitty gets the finish there as well. And Mousesports, take it away, my lord. Very stately build up to that last round, but Nico is a freak of nature, and he brings it back for Mousesports, getting back at Fnatic and turning the tables on the scoreline we saw at Katowice.
You heard it there from Mitch, turning the tables there. That was the shot that kind of blew Lauren's mind, and that was all you could think about when it comes to both the Saturday and Sunday matches.
That and RPK sliding backward and forward on overpass
you
because it kind of
lost it
broke
at
me
that
a little bit.
Now, I was not present when this was happening, and then I just saw it was like for Lauren, and everyone understood what was going on. You know when you're like, people are talking about a party, and you don't understand what's going on? I was like, I don't understand.
Well, you know, there's the little, like, it's not pixel walking, but it's something similar. You can kind of like sit
It's like
up
a
there on the
surf you get
push
stuck
route.
on. Yeah.
Right, so it's just I hadn't seen someone like slowly go across to it like they did in that, so it kind of broke me a little bit.
Okay, did you start doing that kind of cackle laugh?
Yeah,
that
it was
we
the
know and
wheezy
love?
cackle laugh. Yeah.
Oh, the wheeze as
Yeah,
well.
it
You put it all out.
happened, it all
All
happened.
right.
Did you hear the sped up version?
Please don't bring
They
this up.
sped it up.
Halvor, stop
Tell
it.
me more, Halvor.
Halvor.
Tell me now.
I think we need to look at the league standings, Alex.
Lauren is actually right. Okay, fine. We'll talk about the wheezy laugh later. We do have to look at that league table. You guys may find it all too familiar, but look at Astralis continuing to hold on to that top spot. And it reads rather predictably, bar a few names. Look at Ninjas in Pajamas in particular, still holding that 9-1 record.
With some external help, maybe. Thank you to the fans, clearly, for making that look a little bit questionable. But the one thing I want to point out is still how close it is between like the French teams there. NaVi still in this phase. Like, that kind of middle of the pack fighting for fourth is ridiculous.
Halvor, can you explain the landscape of this table?
Well, I guess I want to say the usual suspects in Astralis and Fnatic, but then you have NIP there as well, who Lauren kind of alluded to. They've gotten a tiny bit lucky.
Yeah.
By all means, they
fair
can't really
opponents.
control what
Nope.
other people do, right? Or that people have internet issues, so they just have to play, the same way as they always do, and it's resulted in a couple of wins there. It's kind of surprising to see Envy struggling, but I guess with the team change, that kind of throws a wrench into things.
Yeah, and for me in particular, I like where SK are currently positioned. I think that's really refreshing considering, I mean, last season their start was awful. I mean, they were sitting right at the bottom of the table and they continue to have to kind of have an upward battle. Now they're above EVP, they're above Mousesports, like these, and Dignitas as well. Like they're actually in a pretty good place right now. Of course, it's still, can I call it early days? Probably not.
Well, for a team like Dignitas, they've played 4 games. So early days for them still, but for everyone else, they're kind of settling into where they will probably find themselves for the remainder of the season, at least if you're Virtus Pro.
Halvor.
Okay, Polish shots
Halvor.
already. Come
Why
on,
you gotta
man.
be like that?
Yeah.
It's-
See,
it's
I was
felt like it had to
sitting
be
in the
said.
crowd in Katowice, so I'm just not going to say anything because I know the passion that their fans have. Virtus Pro will
Find
get better.
Halvor,
No, well, they can't get worse, right?
Alex.
Yeah, I tried. I'm just playing the fan vote. But yes, he's already highlighted Virtus Pro not doing too well. This is what's coming up today. We will not be seeing the Polish side just yet, but we will be seeing the aforementioned SK later battling versus the French G2. But our first game of the day, and what we're going to be talking about now, is going to be NaVi Dignitas, and it's going to be going down on both Mirage and Overpass. And so that's going to be our main topic for this next discussion. And I'd like to start it with a bang, right? Let's start it with Dignitas, because this is a team that have been a little bit of a kind of a romantic story coming into this one. It's a fairy tale, exactly. Yeah. It does feel very kind of fairy tale-esque, the fact that they're like, oh no, Dignitas, what is that roster? Who are these guys? And they've just turned it around, Ben.
Well, yeah, they've been playing really well as of late. I like the fact that they've added, region Norway. It's nice of them.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, so no, it's definitely refreshing to see, especially because they base pretty much, well, their playstyle is extremely tactical. They don't base everything they've got on their individual skill, which I think is something they need to do, because if you just put them on, paper to paper versus someone like, well, let's say a NaVi, who are they going up against today, they're probably not going to stack up as well. No. So it's good to see that they're taking other measures to actually close the gap. between the very best teams.
Yeah, and for me, it's going to be quite a fun map pool because these are relatively good strengths for your Na'Vi. You've got your overpass coming into this, which is always like super fun to watch. Even though actually Na'Vi's record in the last 3 months doesn't reflect it, they've actually been playing some the top tier teams on it, so you get to see these kind of close results coming through. I think they only lost out to like TQM and Luminosity on it. So
Don't remind me about that game.
yeah,
just yet.
exactly. Right. But the point is that Dignitas aren't bad on these maps. Like I love them on Mirage. I think they've got some real class potential. They're like a mini Astralis at times in a way, and especially when you used to think about them head to head that we had at Barcelona, it was actually a very close game that Dignitas did very well in. MSL coming out with this like super good like mid aggression. You had Kiebi playing well. Config was very quiet though, and that's the one thing on this map that I'm going to be curious about, especially in Mirage, is how well he plays, because he was struggling at B previously. He was never quite able to hold them back, and Na'Vi don't actually have an affinity for hitting B, but they do have it in their kind of playbook, and they have it very well nailed down.
I like that you mentioned the map pool, because I mean Mirage and Overpass, it's just because I wanted to raise it as well.
I'm proud of myself.
Pretending I'm patronizing lies, but yeah, Mirage and Overpass, right? Like you've got two teams famed for their strategic gameplay. The first thing you said, the first thing out of your mouth when it comes to Dignitas was that they are a strategically based team. NaVi have a very similar kind of tag attached to them.
Absolutely.
Would you say that these two maps are going to be a real test for Dignitas if they can actually kind of push those strats against a team that, I mean, most would say are second best in the world at the moment?
Yeah, especially because NaVi have, they have this kind of way where it's really hard to interrupt what they're doing, especially on their T side, right? Their setups are so well thought through that it's going to be hard to actually catch them off balance. And for a team that heavily relies on their strategic aspect of the game, they're going to have to nail that perfectly if they're going to have a shot at beating NaVi. Also, Dignitas as of late, as you said, they stormed onto the scene and kind of surprised everyone at Leipzig and so on. But as of late, they've kind of struggled a little bit. And just, in the recent Malmö qualifier, went out 2-0 versus CSGO Lounge. So that's not what you want to see from a team that's supposed to be butting towards that top 6 in the world.
So for me, like I want to apply like maybe that some almost Reddit logic to this sort of stuff, right? Here we go. This is the Reddit logic now. But it's more the fact that Dignitas did come out recently saying, hey guys, I think it was a couple of the players actually individually said on Twitter, like, it's really nice having a group of 5 players with us, 4 players with us, so that we can sit down and do this sort of the boring work, the dry runs, the smokes, and they'd sit in there for hours doing it. Now, I'm hoping they can apply some of that to Mirage, bearing in mind that Astralis have been actually very good against your Na'Vis, for example, on this map specifically, very recently. If they could maybe apply a little bit of that and then adjust the kind of differences, because even though Dupree came out saying, Dignitas play a little bit like us, but not like that. Simply, there's contrasting factors. But if they could maybe kindle a little bit of what works for them, Astralis, I mean, into their own game style, Mirage could be a very, very curious map. But then again, it's who turns up for Na'Vi, because you saw like Luminosity, for example, reading Na'Vi like a book. In that game, you saw them playing on Mirage very, very recently. That's because Luminosity put hours into working out how they play it. Every time Na'Vi are down to 4 players on T side, they'll try and hit the A site with whatever they've got remaining. And every time they did that, Luminosity stacked it out straight away. This was like during the Katowice, not the major, excuse me. So it's like there's certain tells that certainly Na'Vi have, but it's like, okay, well now we understand it. How do we stop it, right? That's the next step, because then what if Guardian's having a good day? Bearing in mind recently, he hurt his hand. He's not been having the sickest of performances. Everyone else now needs to step up, and Flamey's taken that spot, which is just as dangerous. So
which doesn't surprise many people, right? I mean, Flamey has been delivering in huge capacity recently for Na'Vi.
It's more consistency that I think now comes to my mind, is how good he's being like over and over again. Before it was like, okay, a couple of standout plays, but now it's like, okay, every game he is turning up. So for me, it's like there's a lot of win factors, or win conditions, should I say, that could fall into place for Dignitas here. But if Na'Vi just turn up as they normally do, I don't think that's going to be
Yeah, and another problem with being one of these tactical teams, it's like you said, Luminosity were able to read Na'Vi like a book for the better part of that Mirage game, and this is kind of the problem that a new team like Dignitas is going to run into, because nobody actually pays attention to you for the first couple of weeks, right?
True.
That's the freedom you get, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's, it's a flash in the pan. It's like, doesn't really matter in the long terms of things, but then they consistently keep beating good teams. So now all the good teams are, well, we should probably put some time into actually figuring out what they're doing. And with a such a heavy strategical focus that Dignitas have on their playstyle, they kind of need to reinvent themselves every, let's say, 1.5 months if they want to keep it fresh.
Now that's interesting, because reinvent themselves, do you actually mean the case of MSL sitting there like ripping pages out of a strat book, or is it more of a case of just sitting there and going, right, well, we know they're aware of this, what can we do? It's always interesting to me, like as a leader, are you reading into the other guy's mind? I know existence is a big factor for that.
Well, it's definitely the case of if you actually figure out that we're straight up up getting anti-strata, then you obviously you need to make changes to your set strategies already. You have to make changes to it. Whether or not that's going to be something that you're completely scrap, or if you just alternate certain things and parts of your strategies, because obviously for a team to anti-strat where you're doing first off, they're going to leave themselves vulnerable at other positions. So you figure out common denominator as to what teams leave open where they're vulnerable while anti-stratting you, and you use that to kind of alter and see if that actually works. Yeah, pretty much.
I'd like to almost follow that on is how Astralis then kind of on their CT side against Dignitas played it out, because those two are super aware of each other on this specific map. Dignitas are known for their T sides of playing ahead of the smokes on A. Everyone's kind of doing it now because it actually works quite well, but then you saw Astralis playing super close to A ramp, like literally Cajun B and Dupree. Cajun B is known for kind of holding the off angle a little bit by the site, just waiting for the push through. Dupree every single time in sandwich now, Cajun B like under dark, just sitting there with the pop flashes waiting to hear sound and just playing off the back of it. So it's like, people might know what Dig are doing now, but it's like NaVi's the team that sometimes can be caught out by not doing their homework. You know, Tempo Storm able to do the same things against NaVi that they pulled off throughout the entire tournament on Cobblestone, for example. That was an easy sit down, watch a demo back and go, oh, that worked for them. If we just do this, maybe it'd help. But they just came into it like with NaVi.
B-plateau smoke, that B-plateau one-way smoke. I think, because that's something Luminosity also did like way before. It's just Fallness just passed that on to the other Brazilian team, and they're like, do this, nobody will ever understand what's going on.
Yeah, do people just raise their hands off their keyboards like this is making no sense
I
to
don't
me.
like it.
Yeah, but you mentioned it, in-game leaders are going to have to be doing their homework, and I have too. I've been looking at some stats, and
you have.
I just wanted to have a quick
damn.
look at. So we know MSL and Dignitas have this kind of quasi AWPer where actually MSL doesn't pick it up as often. Some would say he's stronger with a rifle. And I think a lot of people would agree with that. MSL has 2% of his career kills with a sniper. Going up against now Guardian, who has, let me get it right, 42% of his career kills with an AWP. Like, how do these two players clash, and how do they interact when you've got someone who's so much more, and I'm going to straight up say more experienced and talented with the AWP?
Obviously, it becomes a positional battle for MSL at that point. You can't really go head-to-head with Guardian and just pure reaction and kind of know-how, right?
Right.
But that's also a big problem, because oftentimes when you see people switch roles, pick up an AWP, they're going to be really good for the first 2 weeks. And after that, things normalize, and I think that might be an issue that Dignitas are going to have to deal with.
One thing I would say is that MSL on this map is decent, but he's quite passive. He won't overstay his challenges from what I remember on his CT sides.
Right.
He will try and hold the window. He will try, play around it, but if he gets outdone, he gets outdone. But then they do have that mid-aggression that does come through quite a lot, on Mirage specifically, that worked out very well against Astralis and other maps, and other teams, excuse me, but I don't know. I think it'd be silly to go against NaVi, but there is a chance that Dig could do something good here.
Okay, and just very, very quickly, we're about to go into game. Give me your expectation for Mirage.
I'm expecting NaVi to win this.
Double NaVi for the desk. You guys heard it from us, and now we're going to hear from your casters. It's going to be D-Man and Semler standing by for game 1.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm ready.
I don't know what I just watched, D-Man. The internet is a scary place.
You are enjoying the 9 gags.
I absolutely cannot show this on stream. We will exit this and
never
that
go
one.
Back. Yes. Don't show that, whatever you do.
What
so
have I
NaVi
seen?
Dignitas, okay. Try to strike that from your mind. Purple balloons aside.
Right. What's up, everybody? So, yeah, we're back for another week.
Yes, another week. Well, I didn't go anywhere, really.
Yeah, you didn't go anywhere.
I did Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and I'm back on Tuesday, and we're still going strong. All right, then. Okay, Dignitas NaVi. Now, Dignitas, I mean, we just saw Halvor talking about it, have not had a good weekend. CSGO Lounge 2-0 out of the Malmo first qualifier. They've got a second chance saloon.
Yes, they do.
In that,
with G2,
but even still, that's a knock on the confidence. It's just not going well for Dig right now.
No, it's kind of tough as well, because it's like you really want to see them excel, because MSL has been really positive lately about the team. Feeling like he's like, I've never had a team that was willing to sit on a server and practice smokes for 4 hours, stuff like that, where it's just like, it sounds like the team are putting in the work, but then when it gets into match time, they just don't. They're not quite delivering at the level that we expect to see from them, to be frank. I mean, Config came into this team and he was coming out of this phase where he was just wrecking everybody. He's, him, Kierby, like, they're all like hitting different levels at different times. That's the problem. Nobody's really like gelling to turn into this massive wrecking ball that's just going to, plow through everything.
Meanwhile, on NaVi's side, we got the double raid boss setup. Seized and Flamey. Seized himself has been stepping up pretty big lately for NaVi, as well as Flamey. I know you've had some interesting talking about Flamey. Top 5 players.
Yeah, no, Flamey is definitely, he's hitting that level right now. I actually got a chance to go and check the stats, because we were talking about that in the airport, and I'm like, I wish I could just go onto HLTV and check some stats real quick. And yeah, no, Flamey, recently. He's just been so consistently good for NaVi. It's Guardian actually who's had a little bit of a drop, but then that's hopefully that'll pass with time, because if I'm correct, he actually has a little bit of an injury going on right now that's slowing him down. So hopefully he's able to take it a little easy and actually, allow for some time to recover. But at least going into this match, it's a 4-on-4 and a config. See, that's the sort of thing. It needs to be an instant kill. Like, you can't miss that shot. You have to lock it down. And then to die after that, config, no.
Oh, and they've left them completely in tatters. Tensky's been smoked off on short. You can see he's checking, making sure Flamey doesn't come behind him, but they're in A already. Zeus and Guardian. Zeus is already coming through jungle. He's got that Tech 9 ready. Robinho is not going to be ready for that. Easily caught him out. And, well, Kirby has just got everything to do right now.
Oh, but a nice shot there from Tensky. Yeah, the bomb is getting planted on that B side. They're doing a fantastic job of selling this fake, but the problem is that the guys who are selling it, well, they got the door slammed in their face, right? They knocked, they said, hey, do you have time? Didn't get to finish the sentence. Clotheslined, and now it's a 2-on-1 retake on the B side for Dignitas. If NaVi lose this, it is going to be a catastrophe for them, because this is definitely a round that they should have had in the bag.
Well, the old pistol legend, Edward. Can he rekindle some of that pistol youth? No, I jinxed him. Tensky finds the head, and they get away with that. Now that was a 3-on-5 for a moment there. Pretty close stuff, but well, they got the plan down. That's really operation successful, I guess, for the T side. Obviously wanted to win the... I mean, when you have a two-man plan, you really want to hold it a bit better.
Well, it's like, yeah, you have the two-man plant, but also you have two guys who are alive on the A site and who can just buy so much time. Once that bomb gets planted, they can just stay alive, and then those guys are never going to be able to rotate to that B site for Dignitas. They're going to have to worry about getting stabbed in the back at any moment. It's just the fact that both of the players die nearly instantly. That's really not going to help things.
Well, Config's gone for this SMG, and he's going to be a little surprised because full head armor across the ball for NaVi.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually a little bit miffed about this, especially because Guardian went for it as well. He's got the Deagle Kevlar. Guardian, just get your op. Please, op. It's a good gun.
This is the whole StarX debate, wasn't it? It was like, oh, he's starting to save at last. And now he goes back to old ways.
Well, this is actually a tendency that NaVi have had for quite some time, right? It's always come back to bite them as well. They have a tendency to force buy, and they see the chance, right? And they're like, oh, we can do this, guys. And then they just get wrecked. So... yeah, here's hoping this isn't one of those times. Here's hoping, the call coming in from Zeus or StarX, actually works, and they actually are successful with this force buy, because otherwise it's going to tomb the beginning first half of the beginning of this first half. They aren't going to have any money to work with.
Kirby smoked off. It's going to be NA hit. They're going to be piling on through. Now, good smokes. Everybody covered off. NaVi in force on site. Now, Robinho gets himself into sandwich. Nobody checking that spot, and this happens so often. MSL gets himself the double. All the information gathered. And while Dignitas should be on simple cleanup duty, it's in a 2-on-3. Flamey's in a good position, though.
He's in a bit of an awkward spot. Config is waiting him out. And yeah, no chance there for Flamey. Guardian takes out the FAMAS and unfortunately gets caught swapping his gun. And that's just not good enough. D-Man, that is not good enough. They needed to get at least 3 kills in that situation to make that force worthwhile, I think. And a bomb plant, like if they could have got the bomb plant, maybe done some more economic damage. Right, you didn't win the round. Even though that buy was supposed to win you the round, you go for the A smoke strat. You're hoping to be able to just lock down, pull a fast one on Dignitas. It all backfires. And so now, yeah, they're all floating around $2,000. Unless they get a bomb plant here, it's probably just going to be, like maybe Guardian can eke out an AK or an AWP if he's lucky. It's
becoming commonplace as well, the round 5 rifle buy rather than the round 3, which obviously used to be standard place. MSL's nade finding its target there. I didn't actually check whether, I think it was Kirby that was smoked off at CT Spawn in that previous round. I remember listening to Fallen from Luminosity talking about that exact smoke. It's like, it's such a dangerous smoke that if he doesn't land perfectly, you can actually screw yourself as a team, because you think, okay, nobody can see there, and then next thing they get that little peek over the smoke, and suddenly you're caught out off guard.
But this is why teams either favor cutting the A site with the smokes or just cutting off stairs and jungle, and then focusing on CT. You pummel that CT defense with 2 guys. You just run in there and you take that fight, because it's exactly that. If you put that smoke down, it's so easy for them to get up onto the box, get onto toll booth, and just catch you out for an instant. That's all they need. If they get 1 kill and fall back again, your whole offense can fall apart from there. Buys so much time for the CT side to get their retake going. So yeah, there's a tendency from T side teams to really just actually completely ignore CT or just run in there and bum rush it, smoke off the rest of the site and deal with it later.
MSO going aggressive with the AWP here. First rifle round for NaVi. You can see AKs across the board, decent utility. But he didn't catch a glimpse of anyone just yet. We can see Seized there. Config's going to go looking. Config's going to find, but Seized will come out on top in that duel. Immediately gives him an advantage. That's forcing Tensky to rotate over. So now they're going to have to go 2-2 defense and figure out where they're going from here. MSL's still very aggressive considering they just lost a teammate.
Yeah, so I mean, there we go. Finally, Tensky is able to get in there and back MSL up, because Config gets killed, no chance for a refrag. Seized, he plays it super smart, just waiting. Now there's going to be Tensky pushed forward. There's the follow-up flash. Nice setup from MSL. Needs to get the follow-up, though, and they just turn it all around. NaVi, Flamey with the double kill, catching him out. And that is going to be NaVi now. They should potentially get onto this site. Rubino, however, with the quick rotate, he's just not able to get the key frag. If he could have picked up Edward there, we'd be looking at a different situation.
Kirby behind Edwards, not going to catch him out. Kirby looks like he wants to just sit and get some exits on this one. No chance of getting in there, despite the fact there is 3 and 12 health. So 2 very low members for NaVi, but it is going to be a successful plant. And the aggression of Dignitas catching them off guard, really. Trying to catch somebody out, but Flamey was ready for it. Rose to the occasion alongside Seized. Yeah, and Kirby's just going to sit and wait this one out.
That was just a pure panic spray from Config. Unfortunately, he should have had Flamey, I think, dead to rights. MSL also is really not the best gun to have. You have the op. You miss the shot, you fluff the shot, and then what are you going to do to support your mate? Nothing, really. You both die at that point if Config doesn't get the shot onto Flamey.
Well, Kirby's about to get very busy. They're all he could get a double here. If the 2 low hit points push through, they're not going to go through, okay.
Yeah. No, you got to give it to Seas, though. He played that really well. He didn't peek out. He didn't allow for MSL to get the refrag. He just sat there, waited for the reinforcements to come in, died, but then, you know, that was like a low-impact kill for Dignitas at that point because the reinforcements were already coming in to support Seized. So he really played that very intelligently there.
And as you can see, the damage done for Masses once again for Dignitas on Rubino and MSL. And they're both going to be over towards window. Guardian holding this angle. It's Rubino that's about to check. Didn't go for the flash shot, while MSL tries to pepper him and actually lands a couple of blows through that smoke in the window.
Miscommunication on Dignitas' side as well. They're getting a little flustered. The short push would have been very successful, except that Rubino flashed his teammate. So Tensky was about to peek into Guardian from short around that smoke, so Guardian would have got caught, except that I think that it was Rubino who actually just put a flash in there, so stop that from happening. Real unfortunate turn of events there for Dignitas. That could have been a big opening kill for them.
MSL and Rubino getting shot at by Zeus there. Config still holding that angle. Seasoned Guardian have starting to creep their way across, but that will get smoked off. So Guardian's not going to find an angle just yet. So often we see people still continuing that little jump shot, but Zeus is getting challenged. He's under the pass. He's got nowhere to back up, so they do push that position well. And in the end, it was Flamey and Edward from the top of mid that managed to pick up the double kill, and now they're going to push in. KB on the rotate. He's going to sit around. Okay, Config, they're all going to back up. They don't want to challenge this. They're going to try and hold his rifles.
They know where Config's at now. That's all the info that they need. Config, he's going to walk right back into the blender. Guardian is waiting for him. And Kirby, not a whole lot that he can hope to achieve here on a 1v4. Even coming up from B Apartments, there's going to be a man watching that point of entry onto the site. Guardian's posted up at that AWP, so... And they are in the... Okay, so we can go over like one of the fundamentals, I guess, right now, is that, you know, once you get onto that T side, once you get that bomb plant down, your next goal is to, well, obviously hold the defense, but find a way off of the site so you can save your guns, right? And so there's no reason for Guardian to even be really, you know, for Kirby, for anybody from NaVi to be coming anywhere near Kirby, because they've already got their way out through CT, they've already got their way out through A site, and so NaVi don't need to be pushing onto that part of the map. They already have their way off of that bomb site, which is the third step for them into securing the round and playing it smartly. So
yeah, there goes Guardian. He
can't really do a thing here.
2 passive rounds from NaVi that Dignitas are basically pushed into.
Well, Zeus also, like, seized in the last round. This time it was Zeus playing for time. He knows his mates are mid. He knows they're up top mid. So if he stays alive, these guys are committed to taking that fight with him. And we saw what happened. Edward gets 3 kills because they're all just, like, trying to go after Zeus. So Zeus dies in the end, but that's fine because Edward gets 3 kills out of it, and that basically gives NaVi the round.
Almost matchmaking mentality, just like chasing the kills.
Dignitas just need to take a deep breath right now. Like, okay, maybe they're struggling a little bit. Maybe things haven't gone so well for them over the weekend, but, you know, deep breath, calm down, because you at least had a strong start. You can do some damage.
That nade is not going to find its target. Hit the wall just in front. I think it was MSL. They did do enough damage, but you can see they tried to stack it out here. They've actually stacked B, so this might work out in their favor because NaVi are pushing that direction right now. Guardian, Zeus, and I think it's Flamey all about to push out, and there's 5 members of Dignitas on B side here.
Bench shot, no. They're playing the angles here. They're trying to make it a little bit more difficult. Nice use of the angle there from Config, at least. He was just trying to present a headshot there, so well done. But I mean, that's the best you can hope to do, I guess, in that situation, right? You don't have Kevlar, you don't have helmet, you can't really, you know, take a straight-up fight with a pistol, so you get into a spot where you're going to be a little harder to hit, but it doesn't really pan out for him. And so 3 rounds for NaVi, and, well, we have the other buy, but now it's Dignitas with the wrecked economy. Now it's MSL who can't afford to get the AWP to go toe-to-toe with Guardian here, so that's really frustrating for Dignitas at this point.
Yeah, I mean, when you've just got that one rifle that KB saved, you just try and create opportunities for him, if anything. But didn't work out. Triple stack from Na'Vi. Not literally a triple stack, which we have seen.
Oh, no, but that's all right. You know, Valve can fix it now.
So we even had some Meisterschaft teams doing it yesterday, the German teams. So everybody down the line is starting to do these triple stacks. That was an overpass again. Everybody's getting used to that. Flamey flashed out, but he's tucked in the corner. MSL trying to land the shots, and well, we see Edward just running blindly into it. Flamey does manage to get the refrag, but that is A-site in complete control by Na'Vi. Kirby just not smoked off, but they know he's here.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about CT at all. There is going to be Config there to support him, so 2 players might be a little bit of a surprise, but unless Kirby, no, he's actually going to get flanked out by Seized into CT, and now Config gives away his position as well. He has no way out. He knows that Seized is back here, so he has to win this duel. He does it. So now perhaps he has a chance if he can get this flash kill, but the timing is right for Flamey to peek out and get the revenge kill. So Na'Vi, I mean, very well. Dignitas, they tried to go for something clever there with that flash and a connector at the first start of it, but I think that was like a flash headshot, basically like a flashed headshot from the man coming up connector, because it looked like it was, you know, very effective what they had gone for. Maybe just a bit of bad luck there for Dignitas walking into a headshot bullet like that.
Well, it's forced them, as you can see, down to CZs and Deagle for Tensky. How are they going to try and stack a site? Now they're going to go aggressive. Kirby actually in Palace is going to find Zeus early on. Meanwhile, MSL here is going to find Seized. Kirby does come out on top in his duel, and he's going to push on through. Now, Guardian is actually around ramp, and Kirby's going to be coming around him. He knows exactly where he is. He's got that AK in hand, but Guardian just holding the angle. Hops himself up in a perfect position. He's like, come at me, bro. It's not happening. But this has turned into mini skirmishes, which is exactly what Dignitas need in this sort of round.
This is a little bit too much here for Seized. Yeah, he got baited out, used all of his bullets. Nicely done there. They're able to pick up 2 guns, but Guardian, let's see, it's Guardian and Edward who are the last 2 alive here for Na'Vi, but I'd be a bit surprised for them to go to B. They have to know that the AK is going to get picked up. I guess they're wondering if it's going to go back into mid towards A, if that's the thought process here, but there is a chance. Config, he's got a gun. All he needs to do is hit the headshot, and there it is. Double kill for Config. They walk right into the AK, Na'Vi.
Yeah, they were not exactly going slow either. They had to move in fast into B side, and like elephant footprints, Dignitas set up the perfect little crossfire setup. And from pistols, Na'Vi get gunned down. The aggression of Dignitas finally paying off. Navi's slow play, spread across the map, catches them out. And, well, as you can see, the damage that's created. Zeus having to get gifted a AK, but Guardian does still have that all. Now, MSL, okay, it's boosting Tensky up there. Just trying to get through short a little bit quicker.
MSL, he's got to go onto some of those jump servers, you know, start practicing that jump from, you know, the window
I didn't want to
onto
point
short
out that
like
he missed
Kenny
it,
does
like
and JW does, right, you know? Some of that sick movement.
Yeah, you can do that solo, can't you, that one?
Oh, yeah,
easy.
JW can do it. I believe Kenny does it as well. They've got
The
sick
smooth
control, those
moves.
guys. But actually a little bit of a change of pace here from Na'Vi. It's been pretty aggressive so far from them, but this time around they kind of play it slow, waiting to see what Dignitas are going to go for now that they have some guns to play with.
Zeus is so cautious going into Palace. I'm just watching the minimap. Just Kirby caught him out there last time. He's so cautious. That's what gave away one of those AKs. It is going to be an A hit by the looks of it. Seized is going to be the sole man in connector. Rubino actually pushing on through. Seized flashed up, caught out by Rubino, and that's going to stop that pincer move. And Kirby's in a perfect position. If he can win out this duel with Zeus, this attack could get stopped dead. The problem is they've got a triple stack over towards B side, but when Kirby lands the shots like that, it doesn't matter.
Oh no, but he peeks out again, and so Edward's able to pick up the headshot. 2 key frags going Na'Vi's way, and now they can get the bomb plan out of this if they can ever get up there with the bomb. Guardian's only got 4 HP. And MSL, he might be in position now to catch him out before he can cross that line, and there it is. Great shot from MSL with the AWP. It's going to be all on Edward now in a 1v3 situation. 20 seconds left. And, well, this time things work out perfectly for Dignitas. It was almost like clockwork. 50 seconds in, which is about the time you want if you're not sure of what your opponent is doing on CT on their T side, right? If you're on the CT side, about that minute mark is when you're going to start trying to get that push going somewhere. Flash in, try and get some info, trying to suss out what Na'Vi are doing, and it worked out perfectly that time where they catch out Season Connector. Like, free kill there, easy. Kirby pushes into apartments, catches Zeus. It just all fell into place very nicely there for Dignitas.
Yeah, well read by, I think it was Rubino, wasn't it, that pop flashed through?
Yeah, it was Rubino to get the kill.
Pushed in. So Guardian this time wanted to try and find any of those little jumping, bouncing heads, but Dignitas haven't been doing this. Tensky, as I say, that moves into position to try it, but Config's going to be the man that's going to peek. Guardian just trying to land a couple of those lucky shots, but look at MSL going aggressive. He gets caught out by Edward, and that's going to cause a problem. Dignitas now scrambling into location. Tensky on short, Rubino running into window, and now NaVi know they got mid control.
Yeah, and there was nothing really crazy out of Dignitas last round, and it worked. So MSL taking a massive risk there.
Why do you do that in a solo with an AWP? Why would you not have backup? Why would you not have someone like Tensky back him up there?
Well, it's like, or with like a flash or anything, but I mean, yeah, it's just not gonna, like, you gotta get a flash in or something from a mate to actually take that peek. I guess he wanted to go for the element of surprise. Just doesn't really pan out very nicely. I mean, usually, like, Guardian is the one who likes to play aggressive mid with the op, but he'll just hang around like window, underpass, and then he goes into connector. He doesn't really go up to top mid. So
Tensky is going to get caught by C's. Did he see him? I don't think he did. Config's got himself in a tucked-in position. He's ready and waiting. Flamey and Guardian the ones with the bomb heading this way, but they're checking the angles. They should manage to come out, but Config gets himself one. He knows Guardian's there. Guardian's stepping backwards and does manage to drop down, but that's the bomb for Dignitas. Oh, caught out. That was must have been a no-scope maybe from Guardian, but Kirby now pushing in as well. And seized on site. Well, he's preventing the backup coming from Config, but that bomb locked off. Seized is in all sorts of trouble. He managed to land the Deagle shot. Now Kirby in on site. They're backing away. No time. 5 seconds left on the clock. And NaVi, well, their patient play working against them this time, has been the case by many that try and mimic the time of play, but NaVi don't normally fall for it. But that little catch from Config caught them off guard.
That's basically it. Config saved that round. Him getting that first kill and then not throwing himself away needlessly to Guardian. He was just playing the angle, tap, 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 right? You know, trying to force Guardian to take the fight. And then he did take a risk by jumping across, but he played it really well here. Just not giving Guardian the chance to get that free kill and get that control back. So he just slowed everything up. It's like, you know, oh, I got the bomb. Great, we won the round.
Well, Guardian got into top and mid very quick there. MSL, yeah, oh, he had a free shot as well. MSL was completely caught off guard there, watching the angle on the corner. Wasn't expecting Guardian to be there so fast. Must have had a great spawn for it, but gets away with it and rightfully adjusts his position in towards connector where Zeus is pushing through once again.
Oh, deep nade. Get dunked. That's painful. Don't jump again, though. Guardian's ready. He's fast enough to hit that shot, but the Molotov is going to force him off that angle. Down to 25. He just glimpsed somebody, and 2 nades later, he's down to 25 HP. Guardian, he's not pleased right now. But there's a flash from Config, and again, the aggression from him, and this time he's going to get punished.
So C's rocking the AWP again. This is something we've seen quite a lot over the last month.
He's a capable operator.
Yeah. Well, Guardian has been caught out. That was the man Kirby caught out from the short shot there. And MSL, I was about to say, the 2 defending on B site are really what holds out here. Zeus just the simple man just trying to distract, and Tensky inside is the only man that can stop NaVi right now. But the bomb is making the long rotate. Flame is heading all the way over to A site, and Rubino's managed to get 1. He's not going to realize there's 2 more in jungle. Tensky already on the rotate, so they're going to be in a 2-on-3. Edward just needs to try and cut off. Somebody needs to stop Tensky passing by if Rubino doesn't land this shot.
Oh, it's frustrating for Rubino. He gets an instant headshot. If he had just a little bit more HP, he might have been able to challenge a little bit more, but now, you know, even Zeus with the Tech 9 is scary. Stray bullet catches him, and he's going to go down. Tensky now, he's wondering. He's kind of blocked off. Do not go through that murder hole, Tensky. We call it that for a reason. And Edward's already, you know, posted up here with the AWP. It's just looking like Dignitas, they don't want to have any chance. They don't want to take any of this here, this fight. If Edward doesn't hit that instant headshot, it's a totally different situation, I think, because then Rubino can challenge at least a little bit from CT, see if he can catch them moving in, and maybe they turn it into a 2-on-2. Maybe then Tensky gets into the fight. But instead, they can make away with, well, they'll go with a single. I don't think that anybody else wants to op. Rubino certainly doesn't want to go back to that op.
Well, I mean, that's the age-old problem with Dignitas right now. Who is that solid AWPer right now? And obviously MSL's fell into the role. Not sure whether he's happy about it or not. Obviously, certainly not on the same page as the likes of Guardian. Or indeed seized at the moment, it seems.
Guardian is kind of like
on his own, really.
he's kind of good with the off, you know. It's kind of hard to you know, rock him off of that pedestal. There was a time when a certain North American analyst, you know, he spoke of Skadoodle, whispered, "Ska, save us." Ska looked down and said, "No."
Well, you know what? He could well do it in a couple of weeks' time. Who knows? Guardian, as if to answer the gods right there. A beautiful flick shot onto MSL. And Config basically saying, okay, I got the AWP, but I don't really fancy this against Guardian, I've got to be honest. I'm just going to back away a little.
He does manage to actually get in here. Seized, if he takes that peek. This is all going to come down to feel for Config, if he trusts the angle or not. Oh, the headshot onto Guardian, though, with the nade. That's actually going to give away their position, so he knows for sure now, Tensky, that somebody's waiting around there. Molotov is going to force Config out of his favorite spot. He loves to get up there on the balcony. So now, I mean, right now it's just you know, a little bit of pressure everywhere. And yeah, right about the minute mark, you see, boom, there's the push for info. Team Dignitas, they're going to try and get back in here. And Kirby, he's getting so much right now.
They're coming towards him.
This could be perfect. If he can get the first kill, then they know where the bomb is as well.
He's been too anxious. He's been too anxious. But C's totally not looking. But Flamey saves his bacon. And Kirby just a little too anxious to go looking for that information. Now Rubino realizes he's on his own. Zeus is pushing through the smoke at jungle. Rubino is going to get pushed from every angle here. Config has got around into position. There's Tensky going down. Rubino in dark. He's going to go aggressive, but it's going straight into the loving arms of Flamey. And Config, well, that AWP he's managed to pick up off MSL's Corp. He managed to get 2 out of it. Made it costly, but the round goes to NaVi.
Shame that the flash from Config wasn't effective. That could have changed a lot there. Once you're coming off a balcony, he clearly believes that that flash is going to, you know, at least slow them down. But they're just a split second too late coming out of pit, and so yeah, Rubino just dies. You know,
so many little things. So like if Kirby had just literally held the angle, I think obviously they would have checked the angle going around there, but clearly Seas was caught off guard. But luckily for him, Flamey was backing him up.
It's like there is an argument that that makes the rounds where you're just thinking, okay, it's better to be the aggressor sometimes, right, rather than just being like the one holding the angle. I mean, this is just, you know, straight up anti-eco, fun times for Guardian. He's going to farm some money, make sure that he has enough for an AWP or 2, you know, just let the guy with the Mag 10 go and get all the kills, please. Seized.
Is that, yeah, one's low. Guardian, if you want to come over. Okay, Flamey's going to wrap around. Now, Guardian is en route. He really wants to get in
the window.
Yeah.
It's like, please, give me kills, and it's not going to happen. All right. So 7 rounds for NaVi on this T side. I mean, what started off a little bumpy, losing the pistol and everything, they've really turned it around, NaVi. It's been a struggle for Team Dignitas. And I think it all starts when MSL's feeling the heat, feeling the pressure, and decides to go for that push up to top mid. And it just seems like Dignitas, they need to remember, like, okay, wait, we won that round, the round before, right? We won with, like, solid, steady, you know, like, fundamental play. We don't need to take the risks. And so Dignitas are still trying to find that marriage between the two.
Well, here is some aggression. Is he's going to get caught out? He will. And it gets answered nicely by a double from Rubino. That's more like it. If you're going to push top, get straight in there with 2 people. Not just the one, so you can't trade it. And Rubino finds a 3rd in the round. That's Zeus caught out coming out of apartments. And the Guardian just sitting back thinking, what has just happened to my team? Edward's going to be the sole remaining factor to try and distract.
Guardian's just like, again.
I just got all this money with my Mac 10.
I got it again. Okay, 2v4, fine. He's got the bomb at least, so we might actually have a little bit of a crossfire opportunity, but no, Kirby catches Edward looking the wrong way. Edward trying to check the stairs, and Kirby takes that moment to peek. And now, well, Guardian's in a bit of a tight spot. Not going to be able to flick in time. Quad kill for Rubino at the end of that round. Huge round for Dignitas, and a very important round as well, just because, I mean, they need every single one left. This is the last round out of the first half. They have to end it 8-7 to, I mean, well, NaVi have a monstrous lead, but, you know, if they want to have any chance at all in the second half, Dignitas, they desperately need to come out ahead here at the end of the first.
Well, NaVi also have a very good CT side, so it's Dignitas. Gotta hope they can hit the ground running when they get over there with the pistol, but as it is, MSL gets into position at window. Edward is the man to peek with Guardian, so they're going to try and flash peek this one. There's the smoke down, and Edward manages to find Rubino in connector this time. That nade answers on towards him, takes him down to 34, but the damage was done. And Rubino, who just got himself that 4K round before, already taken out. Look at Guardian playing with the smoke. Oh, and he finds the shot on MSL. Of course he does.
So quick, that flick right onto MSL. It's like you just know that MSL's not going to escape. There's nowhere to go. Guardian is here. And well, now this is all on Seas. Does he hit that timing properly? No, he doesn't. He looks away as Kirby comes up top on stairs. Easy headshot there for Kirby.
Well, he's going to double push Edward.
There we go.
Yeah, nicely done. Okay, but they have a site, so they're smoked off. And a 3-on-3. Guardian with the bomb, though, making a long rotate. Kirby's on the run round. Config's managed to find himself one. Zeus is just trying to hold the angle, keep them at bay, while Guardian gets into sight. But this is not a safe site anymore.
No, especially because there's a backstab, there's a security here. So both of these players from Dignitas, all they need to do is play for time. Because guess what? You got Kirby on the long flank through Palace. So eventually Kirby's going to get into position. And with 40 seconds left here, NaVi, they're going to start feeling the heat. They're going to start thinking, okay, well, we've held them off. Maybe we get a CT plant because that's exactly what Zeus is getting into position for. He's checking CT and make sure that nobody can deny the plant. Only issue here, do they ever expect KRB to peek out? And this is all going to come down to timing here. Dignitas, they need to be keeping a little bit of attention on the jungle because now both of the players have dropped into CT. This is all on KRB, and he gets the first kill. Guardian is down, and they know that Zeus is there as well.
Gets tagged as he drops down, but Zeus getting flamed out, pushed out, keeping him away. He's managed to get himself one. They don't need to go for the challenges here. Just hold them off while he goes on for the defuse. But KRB, with the deagle in the end, manages to pull it off, but that was so close to Zeus pulling a 1-on-3.
Yeah. Hey guys, let's run in one at a time. Versus a guy holding the angle with an AK, right?
They've even mollied him to push him into the corner. They know exactly where he is. Just pre-fire that corner. Come around, pre-firing.
It's just like they just mentally check out sometimes. You don't because even 3-on-1, you know where the guy is. Just put a guy defusing the bomb. He has to peek you. He has to come at you, and then you're the one holding the angle. You're the one controlling the situation. Instead, they decide to run at him one after another.
And with that smoke there, the molly
risky.
here, he had the slimmest of angles he had to peek on. Yeah,
no, really, really risky play there. It's actually a real lucky break that Dignitas picked up that last round. KRB with a lucky headshot.
I'm assuming Rubino's going to pass the Tech 9. Okay, he's
OG
just
Kerrigan
going to
here.
keep it. All right, well, okay, we'll see how it works out for him. It is Rubino that has the bomb. So there's going to be two distractors heading over towards B, the one at the top of mid. And Rubino and Tensky sitting over on A side right now, with Flamey sitting very deep. Passive defense from NaVi.
Oh, I like this though. Double into underpass, hoping to catch somebody out in window. They have the man top mid, exactly. He's going to chuck down that smoke, and now focus is going to be on window and Guardian. Guardian is so good! How does he actually pull that off? He gets the third as well, and now he could get the quad if he wants. He's just going to go through the smoke. What does he care? He's already done his job. Any more is gravy. Now they know where he's playing from, and Rubino will get revenge, but the damage is done. Rubino now the last man alive. No Kevlar, standing out in the open. He's going to get rushed, and they are trying to put the pressure on him, but he will get overwhelmed. Guardian... He just has rounds sometimes where you're like, what?
This is my window. Get away from it. There's many like it, but this is mine.
Full metal jacket all day, every day, and man, 3 headshots as well, just clean.
All right, what are Dignitas going to do? They've pulled out the Tech 9s and Deagles. Some head armor in there, so fully setting themselves up for this. And as you expect from NaVi, not messing around. M4s and UMP. They're one of the few teams that don't buy into the whole stack out the SMGs.
Yeah, they go for, because the UMP is pretty, like, it's that or the MP7, really.
Yeah.
That are the best SMGs, apart from obviously the P90, but you're not getting bonus money. Oh, hey, hug. Config doesn't want any of that attention.
Support there. Dignitas got himself a plant in here, and now Zeus is on the rotate. Config's going to find him. But we didn't need to see that anyway, Rush. It's all right. I can't give Rush any grief. He's done a grand job. Sees, though, down into 1-on-3. This is a very tricky situation, considering what Dignitas started with, but Zeezed with the Tech 9. And now Tensky, because he's on this such a long rotate, now he's put himself in a dangerous position. It's like, didn't even hear that defuse, I don't think. He's just going to get the defuse in. It's going to come just at the last split second. He manages to get the defuse in, but the shot came in from Tensky, but the damage was done, and NaVi save their blushes and hold the round.
That's nail-biting. He almost pulled off of it. He was so close. He was so close to ruining that.
So when you start giving that a little wiggle, it's like, no, please don't hit me. Please don't hit me.
Exactly.
Please don't hit me.
Just trying to make his model a little bit harder to hit, I guess. But I mean, geez, what an expensive round for NaVi. How did they lose control of that situation? Well, I mean, just straight up run and gun, power the pistols. And that was efficiency right there for Dignitas, right? Just run out as a group. That's what you need to do when you've got the Tech 9s. It's all about just filling the air with bullets. You do so much damage with those pistols and the run and gun. You're such a hard target to hit. That's what it's all about. Just unfortunate they couldn't win the clutch, and so hopefully that doesn't tilt Dignitas too much. I mean, they still successfully got the bomb plant down. It's just now they finally have to call it quits.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to just keep with a cheaper pistol round. There is just 2 Deagles coming in there. Guardian actually switching to the FAMAS. So he had a UMP. Oh, he just passed it off to Flamey, I think. Yeah, he just dropped it for Flamey. I was going to say, why is he not saving the cash? But he does have 4.9k,
Yeah.
4.5k. So he's set for next round to get the AWP. Whatever happens here. Dignitas themselves stacking up, expecting a rush actually at top of mid. I can see Kierby stacked up there. Config and MSL also coming up. So they were fully prepared for a bit of a rush play from NaVi, which they are kind of known for doing, especially on the likes of Inferno, but not this time around. Guardians held true. Gets himself tagged up though. Edward looking for it, not expecting the top of mid shot from Tensky, but unfortunately he couldn't capitalize on it with that Deagle. It's the thing with the Deagle. Sometimes you hit these magical Huandis, and sometimes you just can't hit a thing.
Actually, unless your name is Nico, most of the time you just can't hit a thing. Most of
I feel sorry for Pitt, because it's Pitt that kind of like brought it to the limelight many moons ago.
Oh, yeah. He
Started to force
also
everyone to do it.
brought you know, dying from falling off ladders to the limelight.
Yes, I forgot about that. The other day.
And he did it again too, not too long ago. Like, I was just like, Pitt, you know, that just becomes an insta ban for Nip. Like, never play trade, because one round he will die from that ladder.
Oh, it's so harsh, especially when it's caught on camera in high level CS. It's just one of those things. Guardian though, from Toll Booth, registers himself 1 kill. He's getting pressured and he will get caught out by Rabino as they push in onto site. They also clear out Flamey, who was trying to hide in dark, and Dignitas have just cut down NaVi on the A site, and Zeus and C's with a very tricky task. I think just want to try and get something from the exits here.
That was like some Apex level entering from Rubino. Like, that was sick. I mean, you catch out Guardian. That's an easy enough frag, right, to get, because the Guardian's not looking the right way. He has to readjust his aim, and Rubino hits the headshot just before Guardian pulls the trigger. But the second man picking off the guy in shadow, that's scary. That's scary. That's hard to do. So, you know, good on Rubino. That was a big round to step up in, because I mean, otherwise NaVi just run away with this first half. They would have got up onto, well, they would have got up onto 12, and then with sick money, now they actually have to spend a lot of their bank here, NaVi. So there is a chance for Dignitas yet. Don't abandon all hope yet, D-Man. The Danes.
Did you get stuck on that? You did, didn't you, Rushley? You
And the
waited for it to bloom.
Norwegians.
He's stuck on it. He's stuck on the
I can't
Dane.
believe
There we
that
go.
bug is still in the game.
I know. As I was thinking when he was sticking to it, I was like, you're staying a bit long. You're staying a bit long. I like your timing. No, you missed the timing up.
It's like, because you know, hey, because observers like Rush are so damn good, we hardly ever see that bug anymore, right?
That's
so the
true.
devs,
That's
they probably
true.
just forgot that it's even there. You guys, you see, the bug is still there, so please take note.
Take note. Go TV. Please give us a little support in what is already an awesome game. So Kirby's got himself in connector right now. Zeus, we can see in window, making himself a nuisance, and he does manage to find Zeus's head. Okay, Flamey, the only man left on A side, but the problem is that bomb's left in a really awkward position, and Edward is basically the babysitter of it right now. Edward and Guardian just sitting around. It's like, well, you can pick off all you like, but we have your bomb. Tensky almost got lucky on Edward there. Span around, but they are just basically sitting this one out. Guardian's going to go for the peak, I think, on Tensky.
That is basically Edward's spot, right? Edward plays short, but that was a sick prediction in pre-fire there from Tensky. It's a shame that it didn't work out. And yeah, and then Guardian's just like, no fun allowed on my server. Sit down, Tensky. And well, you know, I was going on about how this is such a great situation for Dignitas. They really had a high impact on NaVi's economy. Well, you know, it's time. Every time this happens, where the team, you win a round, you lose the next one. You're the one who's in the force buy situation. You're the one who's flat broke, and it gets ugly because now NaVi, they have a real chance to just crush you out of this server, Dignitas. If you lose this round without getting a bomb plant, NaVi, they're gonna have a field day. So let's see. I mean, Tech9s, they've got a decent nade count, but they don't go for a smoke execute. Yeah, instead it's going to be NaVi just going for the push in here. Just a little bit of info for them. See, okay, no smoke execute. Great, that's fine. Rotate back around on the map, bolster the defense elsewhere, and we'll be just A-okay.
Yeah, that's just basically Guardian pre-warning. They're probably coming your way. Get ready to set up for the shots. And hits one, backs away. Look at NaVi. 5 members all piling over here. Zeus is just the sole man. He's like, well, just in case they try a cheeky little plant on A site, I'll stick around. But the rest of NaVi in perfect position. They know exactly where Dignitas are trying and cut that one down with ease. Lost 2 members. Probably could have done a little bit better than that, but 13-9. Now we see Dignitas in real trouble. They've got nothing they can buy. Just going to get a couple of pistols in there and hope, beyond hope, that they can get a little bit lucky, because NaVi are pretty much entrenched right now.
Well, this has been the story of Dignitas, hasn't it? I mean, NaVi as well. They had their force on the T side, but it seems like Dignitas, you know, the beginning of this first half was a lot of force buying from them, and that's really put them pretty far behind. So it's a little bit late for MSL to be calling for the hard save, but it is necessary. you have to hope that when they get the full nades that, you know, they can count on having a strat that they can run that will get them some results here. They have been going for, well, this is just an anti-eco, guys, so that's why I'm
Why
talking
would you not
over
let
it.
Edward go in right now? I mean, come on, Zeus. Come on. He was right there, right next to you.
He's got an MP9.
I know, he wanted his cash. But no.
Good to see the Guardians in fine shape as well, actually. Like, he showed up. He showed up. 24
He
kills.
pulled out that UMP, didn't he, and started hitting the shots with it, so he's
Yeah,
been making the cash when he needs to, and he's actually survived quite a fair amount of rounds. Just the 13 deaths right there. But here we go. Okay, Dignitas, this is their chance. This is their moment. If they don't do this, they're pretty much done, dead to rights. Triple stack, 1-3-1 split. Edward once again with Flamey going very aggressive on ramp and already getting all the information they need.
Exactly like what they did last round. This time around, C's doesn't get a headshot through the smoke top mid, so he might be a little bit miffed about that. But then Tensky ate a big nade, so he's down to 20 HP. It is going to be a very quick B split here, though, it looks like. No, they're just getting control. They've got the bomb. There's control of ladder. They still have Tensky holding up in apartments.
Edward was with Flamey when they checked ramp, and he's just made the rotate, and he's into short now. He's just come all the way around the map, got all the information they needed. But Kiebi has found him, and that's the second man down seized. And suddenly Dignitas have themselves a great advantage as MSL finds Zeus. And Guardian, well, he's kind of in no man's land. He has to try and hit some of those back shots as they push through connector.
Oh, Flamey got that kill last time. MSL finds Guardian, so that's pretty much it. Lights out, unless Flamey can go for something magical here. They are very low. 3 players below 20 HP. It's only Config with a full HP, but there's 3 guys waiting. There's the nades going in. Flamey, he has no way to answer this. And yeah, not able to readjust his aim for Kirby. There was too many angles to worry about there, and Dignitas played that very well in the end. 10 rounds on the board for them. So the last gasp here, perhaps. You know, they fought up for air. Is Guardian just gonna, you know, wrap the chains a little tighter, push him back down again?
Just say, no thank you, not today, not happening. When was the last time they recorded a big result here for Dignitas on Mirage? It's been a while. I mean, they beat Virtus Pro, but I mean, is that a big result these days? No. I'm not too sure. I mean, that's, yeah, it's been a while, whereas NaVi, you know, FaZe, Tempo Storm, they've got a lot of big games in there that they've beaten many top opponents on. Also, there is a couple of losses to Luminosity. Luminosity seems to have their number on here, but you could argue Luminosity have a lot of people's number on Mirage, so that's nothing unusual. But this is working out already very well for Dignitas. They have A-Site in the control. Flamey, the only man who's burning alive, and now seized with his AWP. Should just go into save territory now. What's their money situation? Probably could do with just holding on to the AWP, honestly, but we'll run into it. And this is giving Dignitas that lifeline. That last round that Kiebi managed to hit those 2 big shots in mid has given Dignitas a chance.
It's more right now. It's like the team that will like defeat Dignitas is Dignitas, because they figured out, okay, we changed up the pace. We finally started to go in there, no fear, straight YOLO. Rubino opening it up once again. You know, just really just hitting these sites very quickly and not really giving NaVi much chance to breathe. Right? Are they going to be able to do that? Keep up that kind of hard-hitting approach when NaVi, who are still in the lead, right? When they start getting close to the finish line, where Dignitas are getting close to tying it up.
It's a 5-man stack from NaVi with the pistols. Dignitas are running straight into this one. NaVi have set up perfectly. The question is, can they land the shots? Flamey gets the one. MSL pushes on through. Rubino already gunning them down. Are they going to be expecting more? They've got the angles covered. This is all working out well, and Dignitas do manage to clear out NaVi. It's the best they could do when you're in a pistol situation like that, try and set up, stack a site. And that's twice, I believe, NaVi have done that and read the situation well, just not come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, well, also Dignitas moving in together, not allowing themselves to get picked off one at a time. That's the key to dealing with an anti-eco situation like that. Even if you're running into a stack, if you've got 2 guys facing at all times pretty much with the AKs, you should be able to just, you know, clear it out systematically. So NaVi not able to really, you know, get that element of surprise going on the Danes.
Guardian, look at this position. He's hopped through that window, got himself onto the top. They're very aggressive, but unfortunately couldn't land the shots. Now Dignitas are posed and ready to burst into B site. Guardian actually is in kitchen because of that move he did. He was trying to make his way back in towards window, but he's actually positioned perfectly. This is 4 members of NaVi ready and waiting for Dignitas. They're running straight into a stack.
Yeah, this is a monstrous error. Now they're actually just going to get mowed down. Seized, waiting, playing this position perfectly. He's done his work. Guardian doesn't miss a shot on Kierby, and he knows that Config rather is holding on the other side. So all he has to do is wait for his teammates to rotate in. He's got Edward moving into B apartments. There's going to be a man on short here in just a moment's time. And so, yeah, Guardian, this is like the level of confidence from Guardian, though. He could wait for his teammates, but Guardian just goes out and takes the fight anyway. He's actually just hunting. He's getting into that beast mode where you just don't stop them. Well, short of a bullet to the face there, as Config showed us. But, man, 25 kills, 4 assists for Guardian. He's just unleashed. But I'm wondering how much of a tell that nade was. Seized, because Seized caught Tensky's arm with that HE. Actually hit somebody with it rather than it just going into the wall, right?
It was a very strange set because they saw Guardian. The Guardian took the shot from short. He backs into B, so it's like, okay, Guardian's definitely on B. Obviously, there's going to be a Seized on there. Edward had already showed himself, so they immediately knew there was 3 on B, yet they still chose to hit that site.
That's that stubborn. That can be that stubborn approach where it comes back to bite you, right?
It's like, I made the call. This is the call. Stick
And
to the
no
call.
fear, right?
Yeah.
Because so far, the making the calls worked for Dignitas to keep them, in this map. So I suppose that's it. It's just like, all right, bullheaded, get in there, get the job done.
Well, Guardian does have that orb still. Smoked off at the moment, trying to find something, but Dignitas starting to march their way in towards A site. Now Zeus and Flamey are ready and waiting. Guardian on the rotate, so he's going to be in position. Flamey just needs to delay them as they come in there. Config does find himself one, but Guardian answers. But now he's going to get picked off and seized all alone. Left on the site, and, well, match point or not for NaVi, they're going to have to run this game down a little bit longer. And economy-wise, they're in a little bit of trouble here. Dignitas could well take this to overtime.
What a sick play from Dignitas. If it weren't for the equally sick flick shot coming out from Flamey, where he just rips Rubino's head off as soon as Rubino comes out of the palace, we would have had a perfect round for Dignitas. They all just came out straight through connector behind the flash. Everybody knows which angle they have to watch. You could tell they just knew exactly what to do. Rush onto that site, take all the fights. That was a fantastic round for Dignitas.
MSL's trying to track him. Tensky's tracked him, seized his pin. He's got to run away from this one. He's got to try and go any direction. He's going to try and flash himself out on MSL. Can he hold the rifle? No. MSL will gun him down, and that puts NaVi in a precarious situation now. They're going to have to hold. They can afford to save and still pull it off, but it's going to be on the 30th round.
We might actually have overtime coming in here. Pretty high chance now of actually getting an overtime situation here to start the night off. Because the money is still not going to be that great. They eco this round, hard eco from Guardian. That's good to see. So he'll have enough for the AWP. But the rest of the team, you got guys on $1,400 right now. So it's really going to be touch and go here for NaVi.
Okay, Guardian's got himself tucked in sandwich. This is a spot that so often goes unchecked that he can just pop out that molly. That's going to sort him out. He has to run out of that one. Beautifully done by Dignitas. Covering the angles, using the mollies, using your economic advantage. And NaVi had no chance there.
It was so beautiful, team. That was such a sick anti-eco. That's how you do it. That is how you do it. If you have the money, if you have the nades, use the Molotovs. Molotov in a sandwich, Molotov behind triple. Just mollies everywhere, nowhere for NaVi to hide. That was really well done by Dignitas. Damn near brings it to
Can he get it one? Oh, no! Oh, knife seized. Well, he pulled something from it. That's going to be an AWP. That's going to be an AWP for Guardian.
He had Guardian has it. Now that's a rifle for somebody. And he keeps getting kills with this. 1,800 bucks. Can he get more? Not going to be able to, but still, that's a lot of money in C's pocket right there. That's like an extra round worth of eco that he just got. He's up to 15,400 now, so he can go for a full buy. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
No,
okay, so C's drops him the op.
Yeah, there you go.
And then C's just has enough for the Kevlar no helmet. Or does C's go glass cannon?
Scout?
Oh,
Where's
man,
the M4
what
gone?
is this buy?
Okay. Edward's getting the M4, I guess. There is going to be an M4 in there.
Zeus usually takes the hit when it comes to these kind
Is
of,
he going to be the FAMAS man?
this economic juggle, yeah.
Oh, no, Max 7. All right. Okay, he's going to be up close and personal on ramp then. I would assume.
Buddy.
All right, well, it's a rough old buy for NaVi. As you can see, the damage that was done. The pause is out as well. So having a good old discussion about this one. Making sure they get that buy. I think actually that's probably why they paused, just to figure out exactly what they can buy. Yeah, look at that. No utility. There's just 2 smokes. 2 smokes, Zeus and Edward.
2 smokes.
1 flash.
3 HEs. Like, what do you...
3 HEs.
Let's be real here, though, man.
Overtime beckons.
It's all about the headshots. It's all about the headshots.
Well, we know that Caesar's going to be taking that scout. He's going over towards B, so that's fine. That actually does work in that position. Guardian obviously going to be sitting in window. Zeus up close on ramp, you'd assume. Or maybe even taking in towards Palace.
They're both very evenly matched right now, though. Both, everybody, I mean, kind of similar across the board here as far as kills are concerned. Obviously, we're in 30 rounds, so that's even too. I mean, both of these teams, I'm really surprised to see Dignitas, able to put up such a strong fight. I mean, Mirage is a very good map for them, but to be going toe-to-toe with NaVi.
Just take a look at that, though. Look at the buy. If that knife hadn't come in...
Oh, yeah, they wouldn't have that extra rifle to play
There's no
with.
warp. There's no warp there.
Oh, no, Guardian's just like, you guys can... I'm buying my op. You guys can do what you want, but I'm
big
buying
glass
my
cannon,
op.
yeah.
I don't see... Like, this is actually kind of wise. They were able to actually juggle it enough. Because now Guardian, at least he has... I mean, he doesn't need a head. He doesn't need a helmet when you're going up against AK, so he could have maybe had a smoke grenade to work with instead of going for Kevlar helmet, but apart from that...
Oh, Kirby's gone straight through. Guardian actually pushing through that smoke. Thought about a little pop there. Edwards got himself tucked in as well. Dignitas with control of mid. Where's that bomb heading? Config's the man with the bomb. And it looks like it's going to be a B-side push, and Edwards in the perfect position to try and stop this. Has to back away, gets tagged up so heavily. They knew where he was. Now Guardian watching the angle, but they're not going to push on him. They're just going to sit and wait and listen. Can they hear any rotates? Can they hear anybody pushing through? Rubino's getting pushed by Flamey.
Flamey's been so good, but then Rubino has as well. Flamey wins out, just dominates them. And so there we go. And you had to push into pit as well. So NaVi, they have a lot of information. They've killed off the Palace man. They've got a man in pit. They know that nobody's setting up there. And so now, I mean, it has to be action B. And there's a rotation coming out from Guardian. He's going to get into position, watching on the shore with this AWP. And this is a nightmare for Dignitas. What do they have nades-wise? They've got Tensky with a smoke and 2 Molotovs. They were so thorough using their nades to take over mid and get short control that they hardly have anything left now that the time is running out. We're down to 30 seconds, and Config, he just has to jump out there, bait the shot, and Guardian, he'll take that any day.
Can Guardian land another one? He gets a glimpse, and there's the flick on Tensky, catches him without a problem, and now Kirby with it all to do in a 1-on-3. 16-14 is beckoning, and NaVi come out on top. So close to overtime for Dignitas, but tragedy in the final round. And my word, Dignitas going to be kicking themselves for that.
Double face palm. But what? Okay, so because taking over mid was super sick, right? Like Dignitas, you could see that they had everything figured out as far as like everybody's setting up for the nades. So smoke into connector, man goes into connector, he gets the flash. Flash is short. They push up short. They get into pressure Edward. Like each step along the way was all falling into place nicely for Dignitas. Rubino gets killed, and they're like, don't move. Panic. Don't move. What do we do now? What do we do next? Guys, MSL, quick, come up with a call. Like,
He's just like, beep.
and then Guardian's just like, sup, bro, I'm going to be over here on B wrecking your face, and you don't have any nades to come at me with.
I mean,
Dignitas,
as soon
they
as you
needed
saw Edward get taken down, that literally, and actually Zeus was on ramp. Zeus had actually pushed down ramp, so he's like, they're not at A, guys. They're not at A. Everyone's
that's
going to be
exactly it, right?
in position, perfectly played by now.
And so what is the mid-round call there? Is like, do you say, or does MSL say, okay, go up connector now? Like, do we just go up connector and try and pull a fast one there because Rubino died, but then they don't have any info? Are they pushing? Really hard spot for Dignitas to find themselves, and they just happen to walk into the worst possible place on the map. Like, Guardian set up in the perfect spot. So
as he so often is.
As
Great
he so
game,
often is.
great game, ladies and gentlemen. 16-14 the end score. NaVi take down Dignitas. It was a close one. Let's go over to the analyst desk to break that one down.
Thanks very much, Lee and Auguste. We've got to go ahead and break it down. We've got to do it quickly as well. I can't actually hear myself. What is going on there? Hey, Ven. Hey, Pansy. Let's be quick about Mirage. I feel like that could have come down to a couple of very pivotal rounds, and I know that you have a very similar mindset, Ven. You were like, well, this round determines the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, well, for the better part of it, especially on Dignitas T side, I was really happy to see them whenever they took control over mid, which they did a fantastic job of. They you could tell how prepared they are.
Was,
yeah, exactly, how prepared they are. I love when they did that and then eventually ended up going towards A. And I was super sad to see that in the last round they actually opted to out of A simply because Rubino goes down to Flamey and Apps, because I still even think they could have done the same variation where they still took control over ladder room and actually pushed through that to gain control over CPL as well.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just even just the flashes, how well written that is into the script of how they take mid. You saw that Guardian and Edward both get completely whited out. They take the fights. It is beautiful to watch, but then again, the start of the CT side for NaVi was extremely strong. They win the pistols because Guardian's a monster. Let's be honest, that clip in mid was ridiculous. Yeah. And then they just build off the back of it. There was some questionable buy-ups, I guess, on NaVi's T side, but that doesn't matter. At the end of it, Dig have some impressive factors. Again, like I said, they have win conditions to pick this game up. However, when people like Guardian are a step ahead, positioning himself on B because he assumed that, well, if Flamey's got that kill towards Rubino, where are they going to go those last couple of seconds? B. Let me just wait here. And you see the difference in the B hold. Again, I don't think Config is playing that well in that spot compared to any other map. Yeah, exactly. I think we were discussing this while it was going on, and it's a shame because he is a sick player. He is like one of the best players, I think, coming up who could have a lot of potential to go to be a lot better, but on that B side of things, on the CT side, he's very limited. Whereas you look at, I think it was Seized playing it for NaVi, it's like, well, there's your pillar of consistency. There's the guy setting up with Guardian every time for these beautiful crossfires, Edward coming in from short. You get everything perfectly done. So Dig have a lot on their side going through this map, but again, just some stronger factors there.
Yeah, and you can tell that Dignitas did try to kind of bolster the defense or help Config out in BF to see MSL. Instead of, he actually rarely tried to take control or mid, they would give that up pretty easily. And instead, whenever MSL got an op, he would go towards that B apps and they would set up in aggressive positions. Didn't really work out. So I would like to see Dignitas the next time the Mirage comes about, that they actually have something different. Maybe they put MSL, if he's not comfortable actually taking control or mid and challenging that area, that they put him towards B apps and let Config
Which
roam
is
around
what we saw
towards
NaVi
connector.
doing on their CT side. We saw Guardian holding apps on more than one occasion, and it worked out for them in the end. 16-14, the final result of just our first game of the day, and of course the second is going to be between the same teams, this time on Overpass. However, that comes up after the break. The score was 16-14, and talking of the score, there is an app you should check out, the Score Esports application. It is available on all of your smartphone devices, so go grab that while we take 5. And we hope to see you guys back for Overpass.